Welcome to the point of darkness.
Rain had been falling for 3 straight days. The city looked dead. Streets reflected broken neon lights. Apartment windows glowed faintly through the storm. And almost nobody walked outside anymore. Max sat alone in his apartment, scrolling through his phone while old rock music played quietly in his headphones. Then someone knocked on the door. 3 slow knocks. He frowned and checked the time, 10:57 p.m. Max walked to the door and looked through the PEEPHOLE. Nobody. He opened the door carefully. A black envelope rested on the floor. No name, no address, no stamp, only a silver symbol shaped like an upside-down microphone. The envelope felt freezing cold. Inside was a ticket. Old and yellow like it had been hidden for decades. The text read, "The last concert, stage 9:20 to 30. Do not be late." The bottom was an address. Max immediately recognized it. An abandoned concert venue outside the city. Years ago, a legendary rock musician named Artem Vorontsov had died there during his final performance. Some people said it was a heart attack. Others claimed he killed himself on stage. But the strangest rumors said the music kept playing even after his body was removed. The venue closed permanently after that night. Max stared at the ticket. Something about it felt wrong. The paper was too cold. And the ink almost looked alive. He took a photo and sent it to his friends. Carol replied instantly, "Bro, that's creepy as hell. We should go." Dan answered next, "Definitely some horror event." Then Lara, "If you guys are going, I'm coming too." An hour later they were driving through heavy rain toward the forest outside the city. The farther they drove, the worse the storm became. Trees bent violently in the wind. The road looked endless. Then suddenly the radio crackled with static. Everyone went silent. A low guitar melody slowly faded into the noise. Then a rough voice started singing, "Don't leave," after the final song. Kirill immediately shut the radio off. The silence afterward felt worse. 10 minutes later they saw the building. Huge. Dark. Rotting. Half the neon sign above the entrance had collapsed years ago. But one sentence still glowed bright red through the rain. "Concert tonight," Lara whispered. "Nope. I already hate this place." Max looked down at the ticket. A new line had appeared. "The guest is expected." Nobody spoke after that. The front doors slowly creaked open by themselves. Inside smelled like dust, mold, and something metallic. Like old blood. Their phone flashlights revealed ruined seats, broken walls, and torn concert posters covering the halls. Every poster showed the same man, Artem Vorontsov. Long black hair, leather jacket, a strange smile. Then somewhere deep inside the building, a microphone squealed loudly. Everyone froze. A second later came applause, soft at first. Then louder. Hundreds of people clapping somewhere in the darkness. Kirill shouted, "Hello." No answer. Only applause. Max looked down again. The ticket had changed. Access to the stage is open at the end of the hallway. A dim red light appeared. Against their better judgment, they followed it. The corridor stretched farther than it should have. Much farther. When Max finally looked back, the entrance was gone. Only darkness remained behind them. Then music echoed ahead. Real music, drums, bass, guitar, vocals. They stepped into the main hall. And froze. The audience seats were full. Hundreds of people sat silently in the dark. None of them moved. On the stage stood a man holding a microphone. Artem Vorontsov. Dead. His skin was pale gray. His neck bent unnaturally sideways. His eyes were completely black. But he smiled. The music suddenly stopped. Artem slowly looked directly at Max. "We have a new guest." Every head in the audience turned toward them at the exact same moment. Bones cracked loudly. Lera screamed. Kirill grabbed her arm. "Run." But the exits were gone. Concrete walls stood where the doors had been. Artem raised one hand slowly. "Only the ticket holder may stay." Silence filled the hall. The others must leave. Then every person in the audience stood up simultaneously. The shadows rushed forward. Lara disappeared first. The crowd swallowed her instantly. Dan tried to run, but something grabbed his legs and dragged him beneath the seats. Kirill screamed somewhere in the darkness. Then everything became silent again. Max stood frozen in horror. The hall was empty now, completely empty, except for one seat near the stage. A single ticket rested on it. Max slowly picked it up. New words appeared on the back. They did not have tickets. The music began again, louder this time. The bass shook the floor beneath him. Max tried to run. His body refused to move. The nearest chair suddenly tightened around him like living hands and forced him down. The audience had returned, but now he could see them clearly. Some had no faces, some sat with broken necks twisted backward. One woman smiled with a mouth full of complete darkness. Artem stepped closer to the microphone. The final concert begins. Red light flooded the hall. Max recognized the song immediately. It was the same one from the car radio. But now he could hear the real lyrics. Who enters stays. Who listens cannot leave. Who sees stage 9 becomes part of the voices. A whisper came from beside him. Don't look into his eyes. Max turned. An old man sat in the next chair. Thin, gray, almost mummified. Who are you? I came here in 1989. Max felt cold spread through his chest. You got a ticket to. The old man smiled weakly. The concert never ends, but Artem died. The old man slowly turned toward the stage. No, he just kept playing. The music stopped instantly. Artem stared directly at Max. You're talking during the concert? The old man vanished. Gone completely. Artem smiled wider. Far too wide. His skin split open around his mouth. Black liquid dripped from beneath it. Come to the stage. Max's legs moved on their own. He climbed the stairs helplessly. The stage felt freezing cold beneath his feet. The audience stared up at him with dead eyes. Artem handed him the microphone. Sing. I can't. You already can. The microphone was covered in scratches. And blood. The moment Max touched it, voices exploded inside his head. Screams. Songs. Whispers. Stay. Max shouted and threw the microphone away. Then the audience finally moved. Every figure stood up and slowly walked toward the stage. Max ran behind the curtains. The hallways twisted endlessly. Lights flickered above him. Somewhere behind him, the music continued. He found a door labeled dressing room. Max burst inside. Dust covered everything. Broken mirrors lined the walls. Old guitars leaned in corners. And dozens of photographs covered one table. Photos of fans, of visitors, musicians. Every single face had its eyes scratched out, except one. Max froze. It was him, a fresh photograph taken that very night. Words slowly appeared across the dusty mirror. Final guest. The lights flickered. Artem suddenly appeared in the reflection behind him. Max spun around. Nobody there. Then a voice whispered directly beside his ear. Do you understand now? Max turned again. Artem stood in the corner. His body looked worse now. Skin hanging in strips. Something moving underneath it. You're dead. Max screamed. Artem tilted his head slowly. Everyone dies, he smiled. But music remains. Heavy footsteps echoed outside the room. The audience was coming. What do you want from me? Artem held out the ticket. Now only one word remained on it. Replacement. The concert must continue. The lights went out. Breathing filled the darkness. Hundreds of voices breathing together. When the lights returned, faceless audience members stood inches away from Max. Their hands reached toward him. Max smashed through a backstage window and fell outside into the mud. Rain poured violently from the sky. The music still played behind him, louder now, as if the entire forest were singing along. He ran toward the parking lot, but their car was gone. Only rusted vehicles remained, ancient, covered in moss. Inside every car sat dead people holding concert tickets. Max sprinted into the forest. Branches clawed at his face. The song kept playing inside his head. Who listens cannot leave. Then suddenly headlights appeared ahead. A road. Max stumbled onto the highway. A car screeched to a stop inches from him. A middle-aged man leaned out the window. Jesus Christ. Are you okay? Max pointed toward the forest. You have to leave. There's a concert. He turned around. The building was gone. Only trees remained. The man frowned. There's nothing there. Max looked down slowly. The ticket was still in his hand. The driver's face suddenly turned pale. Where did you get that? You know what this is. The man nodded slowly. My brother got one 20 years ago. Silence. I never saw him again. A week passed. Police searched the area, but never found Kirill, Lara, or Dan. Everyone believed they disappeared in the storm. But Max knew the truth. At night he still heard music. Sometimes his radio turned on by itself. Sometimes he saw a stage reflected in dark windows, and an audience waiting silently. Then one night came another knock. 3 slow knocks. Max froze. A black envelope slid beneath the door, freezing cold. His hands shook as he opened it. Inside was another ticket, but this time the performer's name had changed. It read, Max, live concert date. Tonight. At the bottom were the words, seats already taken. The apartment lights suddenly went out, and somewhere in the darkness, hundreds of people began applauding.
Friends, thank you for watching to the end. If you don't mind, Please support me with a like and a subscription. I'll see this and will make more and better videos. Thank you for your attention.